it's got to be favored just because it's got 2 divine favors, and Reno Lock always got a lot of cards in hand. And the other thing about it is just that card, the 3/3 that gives the divine shields. Like if that gets on board and it sticks, like Reno Lock can just not deal with it.
That's actually a really good point. That card seems like a nightmare to deal with. I couldn't stop laughing at. Did you watch Brian the Rat Corte during that last turn?
Yeah.
Like his facial expressions, he's like, yeah, whatever, man, come on. Like,
he just knows.
His reaction. Yeah, his reactions this match has been great. Every time I watch him on like one of the huge stages, like when I watched him at DreamHack or some other tournament, he's always so super focused and like poker face and stuff. And it's nice to see him. He's probably at like his own place right now, and he's comfortable, and he's just like, yeah, like just playing some Hearthstone. And
yeah, that's the thing I love about the Rat. It's just he's just like such a passionate dude, and he just cares a lot. So especially when he rants about things, he just goes off forever. It's a great part about his stream.
I will say that he does go on these long-term rants. I was supposed to say I hung out with him a lot at BlizzCon last year, like watching Osaka win, and I forgot who exactly it was. I mean, maybe it was Osaka that he was rooting for, and like who he helped out. He was a part of someone's team.
Yeah, he's getting ready friends with Osaka.
And I think he might have been the most nervous person in the room during the thing. I think he was way more nervous than Osaka ever was, and every time he have a big draw, he'd like fist pump or get excited, and you could feel the nervous energy coming off of him. And yeah, I love guys like that. They're fun to be around.
So we're seeing a really strong start out of the Reno Lock. The coin 2 into 2, and then this weapon's gonna get real punished by the Suze coming down.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the starts the Rat is looking for in this matchup for sure, right? This is like the thing. Oh, he does run Twilight Drake. Yet another card we just haven't seen it in his decks. And this Voidwalker's actually going to get some real value here too. If there were nothing from LBYS to pump up his minion here, it would kind of stymie this attack from the Silverhand recruit.
So we see a quality out of LBYS, which is I'm definitely a little bit surprised to see, because a lot of time with the game plan of Aggro Paladin, you just play your cards and then you Divine Favor, and Equality is a card that you can't just play. So it's definitely needed to push through big taunts and everything, though.
Yeah, it's something I used to play in my Aggro Paladins, a year and a ago, back when I played the deck a lot more. And I haven't been playing it now, but I'm thinking about giving it another shot. I mean, it's good against like Twin Emperors, things like that, big taunters like you're saying, and the Rat could put up some big taunters in his deck here, so, maybe it'll be good later in the game. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, finally gets a Twilight Drake into play. It's just a Yeti, though. He's been having to play a lot of cards early to stay in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely fine for him, though. He's probably just going to even use this Faceless to just copy that Twilight Drake and start dealing with everything. This is definitely a position that he wants to be in, and wouldn't be surprised if LBOS has to use this Equality soon.
Yes, another important thing is he's pushing damage, too. He's finding spots to chip in little damage here and there, and he has Emperor Thaurissan in his hand. Let's say he picks up something like Leroy Jenkins next turn, and he gets to keep the Faceless Manipulator in his hand, and he gets to decrease both of those in Emperor Thaurissan. He might be able to find a lethal really early in this game.
So we see that LBYS is now finally successfully bringing back the board for himself. It's just going to be, can he find the card which puts him in the game, which is just the Divine Favor.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, it's actually getting to where the Divine Favor is not that amazing. Like he'd have to Equality ahead of time possibly, but he's got this Leroy Jenkins kind of wallowing in his hand, and Brian the Rat Corte's been fighting for the board so hard that it's not going to be your typical 5 or 6 card Divine Favor. You have to hope that 2 or 3 cards will be enough, and it probably will be. A lot of times it's still good enough.
I would Faceless this 3/4. So how LBIS's board is shaping out, he might have a situation where he's able to play that Leroy and just clear the Whelps if he decides to go for that.
Yeah, you get to trade into the 3/1 as well. Might not be too bad. Because your next turn is probably going to be Emperor Thaurissan unless, maybe you can Shadow Flame next turn if you get the 3/4 into play. Huh. That's interesting. If he makes a 3/4, is there a chance that LBY just ignores it? I think there is. And just push the damage,
it would definitely
maybe
be tough for him to deal with.
Yeah. So you could have had a good Shadow Flame card.
So how LBIS's board is shaping out, he might have a situation where he's able to play that Leroy and just clear the Whelps if he decides to go for that. It obviously depends on what he top decks, but that's honestly not that bad of a play because the Rat hasn't used an AoE yet, so he might not have the AoE to punish it. Mm-hmm. It's interesting that he went and cleared off the Divine Shield. If I'm LBYS, I'm definitely thinking he's setting up a board clear.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think that's one of the reasons he's not going to Leroy Jenkins here this turn. And nice heads up play from the rat there, kind of sending some possible misinformation over, and just like this is a play setting up to top deck that as well. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 14, so he needs 5 damage this turn. I don't think that's something that he can really find. It would be like, yeah, Divine Favor can't even get you there. Huh.
Yeah.
So what does LBYS do this turn? Do you have to kill Emperor and then push as much damage as you can?
I'm curious if he considers equality here, because it definitely makes Emperor easy to deal with, and you get to still push that damage. And I think like your board's going to be weak to the AoE no matter what. Like you're only reducing this 3/4 to 1 HP on your own side, so it's just, can you use it now? And I think he will. Or is he going to want to save it for something bigger?
Yeah, Equality Juggler, like hero power, if you have to trade, is not terrible. And I guess like this isn't terrible. I guess Equality Juggler hero power is fine. What is it? What happens next turn? I guess you get Twisting Nethered.
I'm also curious to see if he's going to go with the Flame Juggler. I guess there's a little merit to holding it back. I probably would have just played it just because, you're an aggro deck, start getting in there.
Yeah. Play your cards, hope to top deck Divine Favor. Because I gotta believe the rat's pretty interested in Twisting Nethering this turn, right?
Yeah, he's got to.
Yeah. So if you pick up Divine Favor here, it can go a long way. Maybe for what, 5 cards?
Yep.
Now, do you have to Leroy plus Abusive Sergeant here? It looks like he's just going to hero power pass. That is really weak.
This Defender Vargas is going to be really hard for LBYS to get through. Unless he goes for the Alexstrasza here, which I guess makes sense.
Well,
how do you
100%.
This part?
Yeah, it 100% makes sense because, like, what 2 cards would he not play here? And you have to believe that it's Leroy Jenkins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be worried that you're getting Leroy. So I like this play a lot from the rat. Just play as defensively as possible, set up the best possible Defender of Vargas next turn. And, I mean, he could even Faceless Manipulator his 8/8 and Defender of Vargas here and push 9 damage.
And that should just close it out, unless we see a second Equality, which I'm pretty doubtful that's going to be in the deck, but who knows. We definitely saw this game, just the Paladin suffers so much when they can't find the Divine Favor.
Yeah. I was say, is he trying to find a way to play around another another Equality here? I think that's something he's thinking about. I mean, it's easy for us to say this play is great because we see there's no Equality on the other side of the board and stuff, but I find it hard to pass up having 2 9/9 Alexstrazzas.
Yeah, I think that's what Rat does better than most. It's like you see a play like making the big 2 taunts, and you get like really excited. It's just like, oh, this has got to be it. But if you just take your time, you might just be able to find a better play like this. Like it's a lot less weak to Equality.
Yeah, so. I would say this play is great actually. The more I think about it, I forgot that he could just Shadow Flame the 2/3 away. Yep, and those were not the cards he needed. He didn't find another Equality, and it looks like the Reno Lock deck is finally going to find a win for the Rat here, securing him 3rd place. And as we said, he's going to get 7 Geico points and $150, and that's pretty big for him because he's been doing really well in these Geico events. He won an Open earlier in the year. It's going to get him a few more points in his back pocket. Maybe even get him to that grand finals at PAX Prime later in August. That has a $25,000 prize pool. That is a lot of money for playing some Hearthstone. So guys, we're going to be taking a short break here in just a minute, but we're going to have the finals for you. You should probably get a little excited. It's Chalky versus Zalay. Some guys coming off some big wins. Chalky just won DreamHack Austin. Zalay has been crushing the Open